Welcome to Monday and our weekend solds. We actually did pretty swell over the weekend. We did not ship anything on Saturday, so this is everything that sold like Friday afternoon, Saturday, and Sunday. 5 things on Etsy and 5 things over on eBay, so that hasn't happened in a while. We can start over here. This is an antique phonograph reproducer. Now Rich had this on eBay and also had it on like a local swap sites. And it was actually somebody local that was asking about it. And Rich said, hey, we don't hold items. If you want it, come get it or pay for it. PayPal, or it's on eBay as well. He had it listed for $30. The guy offered $25 plus the cost of shipping, and Rich took it. So we made $25 off that. I'm not entirely sure where we got this, but
out of one of the houses in Ann Arbor that listed up record player.
Oh, you did take that?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the piece that came out of that Columbia phonograph that was in the basement of one of those antique houses that we were just clearing out that I didn't think he took. I thought it was just destroyed. But he took it anyway and cleaned it up, and we apparently just sold it for $25. So that's even a shock to me. Next thing we sold over on eBay is this vintage 1985, I think, Lego case. It's nothing like super fancy. It's just the kind that I had when I was a kid. I believe there's a red one floating around here somewhere as well. This was originally one of Keegan's. I think it might have been mine when I was a kid. It may have been passed down to Keegan when he was little from my grandparents. Don't quote me on that, though. I'm not entirely sure where it came from. But when he started growing out of the Lego phase, we threw it up on eBay. It has taken at least 2 to 3 years to sell, and I took new pictures and relisted it once. Finally sold for $20 plus the cost of shipping, which is insane. Also selling on eBay this weekend is this Calero vintage turntable tone arm. Now we bought this from a thrift store for $1. We bought it because of the cartridge that was on it. The cartridge itself we sold for $65 a while back. Now we just had the tone arm floating around, so Rich listed that. We ended up selling it for $9. So not giant profit, but when you paid $1 and you're already, like 70 plus, I'll take it. This is a vintage Gray's Pottery tobacco jar. It is, I think, from what era do you say this is from?
This is from the 1950s.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, but then I started questioning myself. From the 50s. He actually did buy this from a antique store. We only paid $15 for it though, but fun fact, Rich actually used to collect and smoke tobacco pipes. So this was a person, I just got a whiff of raspberry tobacco. This was a personal for a very long time. It is actually worth a decent amount of money, and we did end up making a pretty good profit off of it, even though it was originally purchased for him to use, and he did use it for a long time. So we ended up selling it for $57. We did take an offer. What did you have it listed originally for?
$70.
So $57 offer isn't bad at all. And last but not least, over on eBay, he sold this Silent Running Emotional Warfare LP. Likely paid $1 for it, sold it for $4. It's been listed for quite a while. So this is why we've been kind of steering clear of records unless there's something with a really nice profit margin. Otherwise, maybe we made $1 off of it. It's not really worth it. Now we'll go over the 5 things we sold over on Etsy, starting with this vintage Milton Bradley puzzle. It is a 500 piece. It was made in 1990. I purchased this at a thrift store for $1. It is new old stock. It has never been opened. It's never been put together. Really, that is the only time I will buy a puzzle, is if it is brand new old stock. And still, it's not something that for me sells super quickly. I sat on this for maybe a year, and I sold it for $15. Was it worth it? Maybe not. It just depends. With us having the amount of storage that we have in the farmhouse, I'd say yeah. The amount of storage that we will have in the bus, probably not. Big Jim lunchbox. Now this is before my time. It is 1972 Mattel. It is a lunchbox. It is plastic. It is scratched up a little bit. I purchased this for $1 at a thrift store and ended up selling it for $25 over on Etsy. Now, if you've watched a majority of our videos and seen that this has sold before, you're right, it did. It did sell on eBay a while ago, a couple months ago, and the people just never paid for it. They offered me something, I took the offer, and then they just never paid for it. So it did get relisted, and it sold again for full asking price on Etsy for $25. I will take it. These are adorable, but the reason I just don't do salt and pepper shakers, these are vintage metal Indian salt and pepper shakers, right? They're freaking awesome. I've had these listed for probably 3 years. I know I purchased them from a Salvation Army. I think I paid 50 cents for them. They were half off. And they have literally just sat online for years and years and years. And I have absolutely no idea why. And I have more than one salt and pepper shaker that this is happening to. So I just don't pick them up anymore for, you know, an $8 return. I sold them on Etsy for $8. They've been listed for 3 years. I guarantee at this point I'm losing money on them. So I just don't pick them up anymore. Now, this tiny little pin is the next thing we sold over on Etsy. Picked this up from a garage sale, I believe, for $1. I'm pretty sure. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not real gold. It is gold toned. Sold it for $12, and I just realized somebody paid $29 to have this express mailed to Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, why anybody would pay, I mean, because this is first class, it should cost like, I don't know, $4, if that, $3 to ship. Somebody paid $29 to have this express mailed. I don't understand it, but I guess I will do it because that's what they paid for, even though I don't get paid for this until Tuesday. So it's coming out of pocket, which sucks. But anyway, $1 into 12, and it doesn't take up very much space. I probably will likely still pick little things like this up when we're in the bus because it just does not take up very much space at all. And last but not least is this vintage wool pom-pom Italian, like golfer style hat. Again, this is something that has been listed for at least 2 years, I'd say. Finally sold it on Etsy for $25. I think I paid $3 for it at a thrift store. So, I mean, even though I sat on it for quite a while, I think I still made a little bit of a profit. And that is all of the items that we sold over the weekend. We are going to get this stuff packaged up and shipped out, and then I have no idea what we are doing for the rest of our day. The rest of the day didn't really accumulate to much work-related video recording, but I did want to address something that I've heard a lot of people talk about whilst van lifing / bus lifing. Now, when it comes to things that I hold sentimental, which I'm a girl, I do have a lot of that stuff, that is things I'm not willing to get rid of. So, this is the trunk that it's going all in. Emptied it today. Everything, literally every single thing that was in this trunk, except for like 3 or 4 DVDs that got shoved in there somehow, was absolute garbage. It was nothing that needed to even be held on to. So that stuff is gone. This trunk is empty, and what I have to make it all fit in here. Everything that I hold, you know, weird sentimental value from like middle school, high school, old photo albums, pictures, cards, whatevs. All of that stuff has to fit into this trunk. Otherwise, it's not coming with us. Same with Richard's weird sentimental stuff that he swore he didn't have until he started going through stuff this morning and realizing he's got like pictures that he forgot he had. He still has his bronzed baby shoes. Still trying to figure out if he's bringing that or if he's taking those to his mom's. But all that stuff's got to fit in here. This can basically just go underneath the bed in the back, our garage area, because we're not going to have to access it really. So I am taking that stuff. I'm not really willing to give it up. I just have to make it fit in this trunk. So guys, wish me luck. I have like 7 photo albums alone, let alone like a big plastic bin about this size, just crammed full of stuff. I even kept all my old journals from like high school. I'm not getting rid of that stuff, so wish me luck. I think we might do some thrifting tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Bye.